Hello everyone, this is Brother Benson and I'm joined with my brother Makobura. Makobura, how are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing good. I thank God. I hope you are doing good over there.
Yeah, I'm managing. We call it. Do you know what we call managing? That is how we say I'm managing. You know. Kunini nini mzuri huko kwako?
Huku kwetu sioni mapya. Yale tu ambayo tunapatana nayo.
Ama unapatana ama tunasema unakumbana nayo. Gani?
Zile tunakumbana nazo kwa hali ya maisha ya kila siku. Ndivyo hivyo tunaishi na tumezizoea na hivyo tu.
We unakuwa mshabiki wa kusikiza mziki aina gani ambapo we mwenyewe unapenda kusikiza? Yaani tuseme saa zile labda umetoka kazi ama saa zile uko na muda wako tu, ukishatoka kazi unataka kupumzika, ile wakati umeingia unasikiza mziki aina gani?
Mimi kwangu siwezi kusema ya kwamba nina have a specific songs that I like. But I think it all depends personally with my mood, with the mood. It depends with the time. It depends at areas and also situations and also time. It depends on so many things. But I can say that napenda muziki aina mingi. Napenda reggae, napenda R&B, napenda bongo, napenda gospel. Hizo zote mimi husikiza. Na I think I'm also I'm that person who I wouldn't say that there's a specific type of songs that I like, but I'm a universal person.
Okay.
Mimi ni wale ambao tuko hapo, ukituambia mambo ya gospel tutachangia, ukitupeleka kwa benga tutachangia.
Umezungumza juu ya reggae, mziki wa reggae. Kuna wimbo sijui nani ameimba, lakini inasema katika wimbo, they told us things will be better, they told us things will be better, then they say hey, so they want us to feel stupid, so they want us to be, you know that song?
Nimekisikiza na ninakifahamu, lakini tena niko kwa ile hali ya kuomba Mungu anipe sauti ya kuimba na sauti ya kushikanisha hizi the lyrics, so that when I'm told, for example, to sing about it, I can be able to do so. But what I've always managed ni kushika moja zile ambazo zimeniguza. Kama hiyo muziki mimi naipenda sana na inatufundisha vitu mingi. Lakini niko kwa ihari ya kuomba Mungu anipe hii talanta ya kushikanisha vitu, ndio kama president wetu Daktari William Samoei Arap Ruto. Ni yule mtu ako na talanta mwenye ukimwambia kitu unamsomea whole sentence and then umwambie arudie, atarudia hiyo yote with both the full stops and the commas that were in that statement.
Okay.
So the people are blessed differently. I remember when we were in primary, tukifanya what we call English. When you are doing English in primary, the first question 1 to 15 ilikuwa inaitwa the passage.
Yeah.
Sasa hapa kwa passage it was a story, you know, that you are told to just go through, alafu anatoanisha some words, so unafaa uisome alafu unaweka your words according to, you know, what you think is right, and also what is grammatically correct.
Yeah.
So there used to be a good friend of mine. Siwezi sema akupewa talanta, lakini nasema he was not so good in class, but he was good. Lakini kile ambacho niligundua hiyo siku ni kwamba mtu anaweza kuwa ana talanta kwa kitu fulani, lakini vitu zingine anaweza kuwa na talanta. So one thing that surprised me with this friend of mine, the first question, the way I was telling you a passage, kwa ile harakati ya watu wanapewa karatasi za Kiingereza wanafaa waanze, mtu mmoja akasema ati hiyo passage iko kwa, you know, a certain book. And then this gentleman decided ati anatoka anaenda loo anarudi kuingia exam room. In 3 minutes huyu ndugu alishaenda loo mpaka akaangalia kile kitabu ya Kiingereza mpaka akasoma hiyo passage na ameishika yote kwa kili. Yeye vile alirudi tu akapewa karatasi na akaconfirm ya kwamba ni ile passage ile yenye ameona. Aliandika kila kitu vile ilikuwa mpaka akapata 15 out of 15. So our teacher was then asking, hey, my son, how is it that, you know, you performed so well? You actually wenda umekuwa nambari moja. Ni nini imekuwa ikikufanya huku nyuma? Because according to the teacher, actually was the school head teacher.
Yes.
Sasa akaanza kutuambia inakuaje unashindwa kwa zile ambazo tumekuwa tukifanya, lakini hii umeshinda, umekuwa nambari moja. Sasa ile harakati ya kukuja kujua ni nini ilifanyika ndio yeye mwenyewe alijitokeza akasema ati nilipata fununu hii kitu inatoka kwa hii kitabu na nilienda huko for just 1 minute nilifanya cramming. And so the teacher was telling us that I believe if in 2 minutes this young man anaenda kwa toilet mpaka, you know, akakram the whole passage. Basi kila mmoja, we are all clever people. It is just that we've not, you know, we don't believe in ourselves.
Okay, thank you so
that
much.
Is a lesson that I learned.
Yes.
Na nakwambia kuna msemo tena inasema bahati ya mwenzio usilalie mlango wazi. Hiyo kumalizia na hapo.
Okay, asante sana Makobura. Kabla tujaenda katika mada ya kuu ya leo, naona utajibu hiyo swali ya Gibson Corner. Alikuwa nauliza, Kevin, did you watch interview with Kimani Chungwa on head with Al Jazeera with Muhadi Hassan? I don't know whether you watched that, so you'll have to answer that. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone on board. I'm seeing Brenda, thank you so much for watching. We have Gibson Corner, thank you, Judith, and we have Political Buffs. Reggae, anasema Reggae. Thank you so much for watching, and we welcome you on board, and we can start conversation. And this is what Judith Kawitha, our boss Kiswahili is really improving. Wow, it is really good. Okay, Makobura, kuna watu dalili inaonekana kwamba jitihada ambao umeweka yani inazaa matunda. Kuna tofauti ambao wanaona hiyo ni vizuri. Sasa Makobura, endelea kuweka jitihada na juhudi katika mambo yote, ukikuja hapo katika Kiswahili. So ikifika kipindi tutakuwa nacho, maybe siku ingine tutakuwa tunasema Kiswahili kuanzia mwanzo hadi mwisho, ndio sasa tujue kwamba
Nimebobea kwa hii lugha, najiamini.
Okay.
Najiamini vizuri sana.
Okay, asante sana and asante sana kwa wale ambao wameungana na sisi pale katika tuseme comment section, and we really thank you so much. Makobura, we want to look at what happened today. Martha Karua today rebranded her party, and it's coming with the purple color, you know, and that is a new thing. Nothing is going to change, but like that rebranding maybe can give it a new look, which was good. I had an opportunity to watch it, and I saw some figures that in politics would point to a certain direction that is there. Yesterday also, something that we did not talk about is about Babu Owino. He talked about Kalonzo Musyoka, and he was like endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka. And there's some things that Babu Owino raised. And if indeed somebody would listen, I would listen to that, and I would think of something that maybe Babu Owino has decided he might be moving out and is charting his own path, especially politically, based on what he says. And he said that he's standing with Kalonzo. And he came and said something like, when you look at the history of the presidents that we've had, none of the presidents, at least people had faith or hope that they are going to win. They came and win despite that popularity was not there. He gave an example of especially Mwai Kibaki. Nobody knew that Mwai Kibaki was going to win. He also came and said something about President Uhuru Kenyatta. Nobody knew that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to win. And also he talked about Ruto himself. Nobody knew that Ruto would win the presidency, based to the fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was then the incumbent, gave support to Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and Ruto ended winning. And he was alluding that people who might think that Kalonzo might not win, this might be the time. So those are some of the comments that Babu Owino made. Apart from that, Babu Owino said that Kalonzo has stood with Raila for quite some time now. And he said that his even sacrifice especially was very specific on the 2022 general election, whereby Kalonzo decided to support Raila even without a portfolio. Remember, he was saying that he was supposed to be the prime minister, which was not in the constitution, but he supported Raila Amolo Odinga. And he asked the question, and the question, is this the man to betray? So there's so many things that we are learning from that. And also talking about Martha Karua, already talking about coalition. Yes, the coalition is building, especially with Martha Karua, based on the figures the political figures that we saw on the meeting today. And the all events was streamlined by Alpha. It's called the Alpha the House. If you've watched that channel, and they did a good job. The live streaming was, to me, they did a good job with the live streaming. So that is what is there. And there are also some remarks that Rigathi Gachagua made when he was given an opportunity. Onyonka and everyone else made their views and comments. And, it was a busy day for Martha Karua. So maybe before we go into the conversation, what would be your take, especially when you look at the Martha Karua branding her party to the purple from NARC Kenya, which has been in existence for a long time, decades, before we discuss Babu Owino? Thank you so much, Makobura.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to just give my views on, what was happening at the former NARC's headquarters. Maybe allow me to talk first about NARC Rainbow, right?
No, it's not NARC Rainbow.
But at some point, they were somehow associated with Rainbow, the Rainbow. I mean, when the coalition of 2002, you remember? That led to...
That coalition was it called NARC Kenya? Oh, this one was the one that called NARC Kenya. There was NARC.
It changed because I remember the original one was NARC. Was it NARC Rainbow? And then it changed. Mm-hmm. And then along the way it was changed. There's part that they removed. So when we're talking about this party that Martha Karwa's, worked with, this is a party that started long time ago, but it is one of the parties that helped the people of Kenya to first, of course, together with other coalitions, to come together and form a government that was progressive, a government that the people of Kenya really felt that it was beneficial. So if we talk about the person or the character of the person who has been leading NAC, Martha Karua is she's an activist, a consistent activist, and her politics is one that any serious person would emulate, because she's this kind of leader who has a stand. If she says something, she means it. And no matter the situation, no matter the power, we saw she's one of the ladies who have really shown that it is possible even for the ladies to get into top positions and they would still perform. you know uh, Martha Karua, Ngilu, Professor Madare, these are ladies who have really stood firm, who have really worked with the people of Kenya, and they have shown that even the girl child, when given the opportunity, they are all equal, of course, with men. They have the brain, they can deliver. And the kind of courage that she's shown is one that is admirable. If you remember when he had problems with, Moi, she's the only woman who'd come out. Remember who Moi was, the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
And then Moi used to be Moi, and there's nothing that would stop, the president from doing anything, especially to people who are going against him.
Yeah.
Remember, Moi went to his constituency and she walked out and said that she was not, invited, and she didn't know, that is a leader who has maintained, and she has walked the journey with her head high.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people that, to me, if we are getting into politics, we need to follow their footsteps. Just like if you are Christian and if you are Catholic for that matter, we believe in Christ, Jesus Christ. But again, there are those people who walked with Christ, and there are those people who followed the footsteps of Christ. In Catholic, we call them saints. And we do, at some point, we request. I mean, we always sometimes invoke the names of the saints, and then we say that, kindly God, give us the grace to walk, and follow. I mean, to follow the footsteps, similar to the journey that Jesus walked.
Yeah.
One thing that we can admit as a people is Martha Karua is a consistent politician. She's a genuine politician. And if you ask me, then I can actually tell you that Martha Karua is one of the best people or politicians that the people of Kenya really missed or did not give a chance. Whether performing at the DP's position or at the governor, as a governor or as a minister, she is a good leader, she is a good politician. And what I can say is that she's been consistent and she's shown that, she's able to do it. So many instances we've seen her making stands, and sometimes anabaki peke yake, yeye mmoja, wengine wanaenda wote, lakini yeye anabaki. Mara mingi tumeona wengine wanaenda wanapewa hata pesa wa cross the other side, na yeye anasimama anasema hapana. And she's been in the cold for 13 or 16 years, and she's okay with it. If you follow what we've been seeing, for example, these politicians declaring their wealth, they're saying they're billionaires. Do you remember the wealth? The the amount of money or the amount of wealth that Martha Karua declared that she has. It was around 150 million. And look at her peers, those that they've been with in this position, they are billionaires. The question you're asking is, it is okay, even if she lost. We are my take. Okay, I'll come back to you. Even Raila's lost, not once, but several times. But of course, there are things that when we start talking positively, we have so many positive things to talk about. So I don't think it is right for my good friend, my take, to yeah. So that is what I can say. And I mean, rebranding the party is a good thing. Sometimes, when you, even those who own cars, along the way, you might have a nice, good car.
Yes.
And you give it a good maintenance, but along the way, the paint might, start fading.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may decide to just get to a garage and then repaint it, so that it, when you repaint it, people will not have thinking that this is the same car that you've always had. Some of your friends would say that, oh, did you buy a new car? Yeah. So it is good. It is a fresh party that she has rebranded. And what we can say is that it is somehow going to capture those people who have not, maybe did not like the NAC as the way it has been. But when it has rebranded, of course, that means that they have even somehow changed the constitution, and also the beliefs, things that they believe in as a party. Somehow they have changed some few things. And again, remember, they're rebranding and then making a coalition with other like-minded politicians, which is a good thing.
Yep.
If you watched again, there were a good number of people who supported their bid for presidential, and Raila's bid for presidential, and Karua's bid for the DP position.
Yes.
Some of them are the likes of the former governor of Makueni, Professor Kibuta Kibwana.
Kibuta Kibwana was
there. There was Kitui. What is it, Doctor? Mukisa Kitui. Mukisa Kitui was also there. By the way, I almost joined the party of Mukisa Kitui before we came up as people who think differently to form another party. We were almost joining the party of Mukisa Kitui, and we even met several times, had discussions. We liked his view, and we liked what his party really stood for. He's one of those people who have fought for the people of Kenya.
Okay. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah. So what I also saw in that particular launching was a progressive leaders who are consistent, and they're saying that the reason why they're coming together, or the reason why they're planning to work together, is because they have, they want to liberate the country. They want to liberate it from dictatorship. They want to liberate it from a leader who is not listening to the people. And if truly that is what they stand for, if truly that is what they want to do, then it is right. Because currently, whatever is happening in the government is not really worth.
All right. Thank you so much, Makobura, for your observation. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our friend Maitek to the show, and thank you for engaging us on the comment section. We really, really appreciate your opinion, because that's what shape the political of this country and the conversation that we have. You talked about, I told you I had an opportunity to watch the real events, how it started to the end, and I saw young people, especially Fanya Mambo Africa. Fanya Mambo Africa is one personality who usually visit some of the radio shows and major platforms that usually have interviews over there. I saw Morara and I saw Rigathi Gachagua was there. The presence of Onyonka too sends a shockwave, because we know that even Onyonka really said that, okay, he was representing the Matiang'i. So it tells you that what was happening there, despite the branding of that political party of Martha Karua, it will also have the political undertone in it, because it was also showing that there is a coalition or a major buildup that is taking place of like-minded people who might be thinking in the same direction. And it tells you the political of 2027 is really kind of like it started to take shape. So we will be watching the space and see who is coming on board. Rigathi Gachagua was there. He was like the second best speaker, based on the ranks, because he spoke, I think, like he spoke, then Martha Karua spoke later. And there are so many things that Rigathi Gachagua said on that. I saw the presence of Kivutha Kibwana, because if you look at the governors in the history of this devolution of our country, Kivutha Kibwana has one of the very best history as one of those governors who have really performed in this country during their tenure in the governorship. So that is something that we noted. You talked of Mukisa Kitui. Mukisa Kitui too, I saw him. Remember, this is a guy who has worked in UN for quite some time with a vast experience. So he was also there. I also saw Jimmy Wanjige, no, I did not see Tony Gashoka, but Jimmy Wanjige was there. So it tells you what is going on, and this is politics. As that was happening, president is still at the coast too. Is doing his development tour and launching new projects at the coast. That is also something that is there. As you do so, President, right, the Right Honorable Prime Minister was in Migori, continuing with his consultation before he makes his speech. So for your take now, if you put it in a nutshell, and when you see this coalition building up, or based on the few political figures that we saw who were there, do you see that it carries the aspiration of Kenyans? Would the team would answer those questions that Kenyans are asking for?
As a Kenyan
Yeah.
who wants the best for this country, you've not mentioned in that, in that meeting, there was a good number of leaders who also urged the former premier to
Yeah.
also join the team, so that they can work together, they can fight for the people of Kenya. And I remember the senator of this young gentleman, what is his name?
Methu. Is it Methu?
Metho, yeah, Senator Metho. He actually said that Raila should give us a signal so that we know how we can deal with you going forward. And to me, as also a concerned citizen of the Republic of Kenya, I will also tell Raila to give us a signal so that we can know where we can put him, where I can put him as an individual and where we can put him as a people. And there's only one ultimatum that we're also giving as a people. They are our leaders, so we have to give, we have to speak to them.
Yeah.
I'm also giving my ultimatum as a Kenyan, concerned Kenyan, that if Raila makes the mistake, I will say it without fear or contradiction, of going to the side of the president, then his political life is doomed. And there's a possibility of him losing a good number of followers. He might just remain with our good friend my take here, who is progressive according to his comment. Yeah, but I think it is right to just stand by the people. Where you see majority of people, especially those who are fighting for the rights of the people, I think that is the right point to be.
Yeah. Okay.
The question that you've just asked, why they're coming together, and do they have a genuine intention? They're politicians. I do not really know if they have a genuine I do not understand. I mean, I do not really know if they have a genuine stand, but what I can say is that
Mm-hmm.
there are some leaders in that team who are good, but of course, majority of them have tainted political image. That's a
Yeah.
fact, and I
Mm.
think some of them are just going there, just to join forces
Mm.
with those who are not tainted, so
Mm.
that there is a good number of politicians in this camp whose main intention is removing William Samoei Ruto,
Mm.
or sending him home, and
Yeah.
that should not be the agenda. The agenda should be, how are we going to transform our country?
Mm-hmm.
As much as the president has not performed well,
Mm-hmm.
but we should not go to election saying that we are sending him home. Yes, we can
Yeah.
send him home. After sending him home, who is going to be the president, and is he or she going to deliver to the people of Kenya? That is
No.
what we need to ask ourselves. And it is so unfortunate that the people who are right in that group, there is a good number of tainted politicians that have that are also interested in joining, and they're joining that blindly.
Okay.
You know, that is one thing that we have to be about, very careful about as a people, because as much as we want a government that is going to take care of us, a
Yeah.
government that is going to ensure that our economy works, we
Mm-hmm.
should not give anyone who feels they have a problem with the president,
Mm.
or those whose agenda is sending the president home, but in real sense they do not really want, they're not telling us what they are going to do, contrary to what, the bad things that the current president is doing.
Yeah.
So that is what I can say about that.
Okay, thank you so much. Because like I'm seeing Gibson Connor asked about the interview that was done on Al Jazeera by Hassan and Kimani Chungwa, and I'm seeing Gitonga also. Gitonga, welcome to the show. Yes, when you look at the interview, to me, I thought the Hassan would have gone much further compared to how he has always been handling some of the guests, especially in his show. But in a nutshell, some of the things that I picked from there, Kimani Chungwa defended the president, and he denied the allegation of the police brutality and forced disappearance and corruption on the government. So some of the things that I picked. So maybe there's some of the things that you might have picked on the show. You can let us know. And even if you go to the comments, people are giving different views. There are those who feel like Kimani Chungwa did well. There are those who also feel that he did not do well. So this one also will depend from which side are you at, especially with the politics. Okay, let me see. What is the other day, right on this show, someone said, Luis are inferior. How can I side with the people who reason like that? Was it the host or on the comment section, my take? So, just let us know if he's one of the panelists, because here we usually have like 3-4 panelists. Either it can be me, Makobura, Miguda, and we have Barak, and sometimes we have um, there's so many people that we have that among the panelists. So let us just know who did that. Yeah, I
I
saw.
I allow maybe I can talk about this. There was who was that? There was a comment,
Yeah.
and I think I talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
There was there was a term that
Mm-hmm.
was I think it was in Kikuyu,
Yeah.
and one of our good friends with Kikuyu translated to us what it
Yeah.
means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting that, and the translation was that word meant that it meant something inferior. And
Okay.
so I remember advising and giving my explanation that what we were actually talking about on that day was the issues of abuse.
Okay.
When, for example, when you, for example, you are a Kikuyu, a Maluo,
Mm.
there was a question why the people of Murema are saying that Raila should come back and fight for the people, and that he should not join Ruto. And then there's a comment that came that the Murima people thought that because I don't know, Luos are not circumcised. There's a term that Nani used.
Oh, okay.
Ayaga, and so the whole thing was about the term used in that was used. I mean, Judith was the one who gave us the explanation.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
So it wasn't. No one really said that Luos are inferior. It was just a translation of Kihi, this thing that they've been calling, the people from the lake.
Okay.
And so Ayaga, I mean, my take was saying that if they call the people of lake that they're inferior, then how do you think that the people of the lake would then support someone from but I think we sorted that.
Okay, thank you so much. And for my take, we still take the responsibility and we apologize for the comments of our viewers that did not go well with you. And we really apologize on their behalf. And we will continue to have a conversation. And Makobura, before we come to Martha Karua, and when you look at it, and you've given a brief history, and you say that some of the people that even were there, some of them are tainted, and they've worked with the political class. For example, like when you look at Jimmy Wanjige, have really worked with both the political class. He has worked with, at some point, Uhuru administration, whereby Ruto was, and also we saw it there. Now, do you think, like, when time comes that they can offer us what Kenyan wants? Because, like, there's so many questions that Kenyans are asking at this particular moment. Kenya are asking for the SHA to work. Kenyans are asking for high cost of living, among other things. Do you feel like even the 2007 is still very far? But as I said earlier, do you feel it is going to answer those questions, or it is just going to be always as getting the positions that they usually fight for, but not the interest of Kenyan people?
What we've always seen is we've seen interest of the political class that has always been looked into. If you ask me if there's going to be any change, I think there could be change if the agenda of those who are coming together is to ensure that they involve the people of Kenya. If they're getting or they're interested in getting into these positions because of the sufferings of the people of Kenya, because of the cries of the people of Kenya, if they're getting into this position,
All right, thank you, Makobura. Maybe you're getting a call. What is this? Judith do so. Judith, so is Babu inferior? Also, Larry inferior? Also, if not, some of them. Okay, there is some. Okay, thank you so much, Makobura. I think Makobura is still settling on his mic, and he will come back. When I look at what happened at the Papu party today, I think that was a political party, and Martha is rebranding. But the question is, will they really offer Kenya what Kenya wants? Because the majority of it all was Makobura, you back?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, allow me to just finish. I wanted to say that if the politicians are coming together because they want to rescue us, the people of Kenya, from the challenges that we are facing as a people, then I think they're on the right track. But if they're coming together just because some of them are having issues or problem with the president, then I think people who are having that mentality, we are going to lose as a people. And then if they got into office, there's a possibility that they're going to change and they're going to, just follow up or do what we call, wataanza kufanya kitu tunaita aje. kulipisha kizazi. So if the politicians are really aware of the problems that the people of Kenya are facing, because of the problems that are coming together, then we should be positive. They're going to bring some change.
Okay.
But if they are coming together because Rigathi Gachagua was impeached by the government of William Samoei Ruto, and they want to punish him, they want to send him home, then that way I don't think they're going to solve anything. If that is the target, then we should expect more problems as a people, and we should not expect any positive thing.
Okay, if you listen to some of the comments that are happening, or people still tend to believe that Rigathi Gachagua is hiding behind Martha Karua, or is going to be a game, because some people feel like, okay, Rigathi Gachagua, if in any case he wants to start registering a political party, it might not be possible for him due to the fact that he might get frustration even from the relevant authorities. You know how sometimes it is. And people are saying, okay, now Rigathi is hiding behind this rebranding, but he's taking that face of Martha Karua. I don't know whether you also see it that way or you have a different view. Those are some of the comments that I saw people were making during that live streaming.
What I can say is that the branding of the political party, and the coming together of politicians. What I can say positive that I saw is that there were a good number of people that some of them, the likes of Onyonka, the likes of Martha Karua, the likes of Morara, for example. There's a good number of leaders that amidst, as much as there was a lot of tension, as much as there was a lot of fear, they came out, they spoke, and they stood by their people. And that is one thing that I've always liked about Honorable Onyonka. As much as he is an ODM member, as much as he, understands and he knows what, the party, what party is coming from, as much as his party gave directions that you should support, you should not question. Whenever he feels that it is right to question, he has been questioning. Whenever he thinks it is right to oppose, he has opposed. To me, if they are coming together, then it is a good thing, because we want leaders who can stand by the people, even if they get instructions from their political leaders. We want leaders who can come out and, just speak with the people and tell them that, you know what, we are with you. We are fighting for you. That is what the people of Kenya wants. We want leaders that whenever they see corrupt dealings or someone, doing something which is not right within the government, they would positively come out and tell them that this is corruption, this is not clear, clarify to us. Those are some of the comments that I saw from that venue, and I saw some union between those leaders. If they can focus on uniting the people of Kenya, if they can focus on, ensuring that the people of Kenya, the tribal narrative that we've been seeing in the Republic of Kenya is done away with, then I think as a people, we are on the safe side. If they can focus on the positivity, ensuring that they come up with a plan of bringing, ensuring that the youths are going to get jobs, they solve the issue of unemployment, the economy is going to I mean, the economy is going to do good, they do what is required, then I can say that we're on the right track. But more of the conversation, of course, that I was also seeing, there's some number of politicians who are also bitter about what is going on between the former deputy president and the president. There's a number of politicians who are still trying to bring the issue of tribe, and that is wrong. Because if they start saying that he, for example, he did not like our deputy president and so we cannot support him, then that is not okay. You are muted.
Asante sana. Unajua kuna jambo ambalo nataka kuzungumza. Mimi nimependa kuzungumza kwa Kiswahili. Ni kusema kwamba unajua nchi ambayo imetengenezwa ama imejengwa katika msingi ya ukabila, hakuna mali inaweza enda. Na mimi naamini sana sana katika kizazi ambao kipo, kizazi cha Gen Z na kizazi cha millennial, kuna vitu ambazo sisi wenyewe tunaweza epuka. Yeah? Na vitu ambazo tunaweza epuka ni kwamba tujifunze, kwa sababu tukiangalia vita za kikabila haijawahi saidiana nchi yetu. Na tumeona hata watu wakisema kwamba wewe kabila hichi na wewe kabila hichi, wale watu ambao wamekuwa wakifaidika kwa maneno kama hayo si wananchi wa kawaida na maviongozi yao tu. Kwa takriban miaka 40 wale waliokuwa katika uongozi ama wale bado wanatawala katika siasa ni wale tu, na hao ndio wanazungumza mambo ya ukabila, na hao ndio unapata kazi ikipatikana ndio wanapata kazi. Kwa mfano, mimi nataka kukupatia mfano bora. Kama uko na historia mzuri ya nchi hii, mimi nakwambia sijawahi ona wakati shida ipo naona mtoto wa maskini amebebwa na ndege akapelekwa ama kupata matibabu nje. Unapata hao Wakenya hao wenye wanaitwa wa kabila ambao wanasusiana ama wanasema kwa kabila, hao ndio bado wanachanga pesa kidogo au watu wanapelekwa hospitalini. Imefanyika mengi sana. So mimi ningependa kuwarai watu wote, sana sana wale ambao tuko hapa katika hii channel yetu. Najua watu wanakuwa na kosa, kuna mtu ambaye amekamilika, kila mtu ako na madhaifu yake ambaye ameumbisha, Mungu amemuumba nayo. Lazima hiyo tukubali. Lakini inafaa sisi pia tukue somo bora. Tusome kwa historia na tuangalie historia ilitupatia nini na tunarekebisha vipi historia. Yeah? Na kwa sababu tukifanya makosa ambayo zilifanywa na mababu zetu na baba zetu, basi hatutakuwa tunajenga nchi yetu. Yeah. Hatutakuwa tunajenga nchi yetu hata kidogo, kwa sababu njia moja ambayo ilifanya sisi wenyewe tukakuja hapa tukaanza kuzungumza, kwa sababu nia mzuri ambao sisi tuko nayo na nchi yetu. Hatutaki kuangalia labda wewe unatoka sehemu gani, wewe unatoka sehemu gani. Tuangalie zile makosa ambao mababu zetu, wanasiasa wetu wanafanya. Tukosoe hayo, alafu tukuwe na nchi mzuri. Na hiyo ndio tutajenga nchi mzuri. Lakini tukiendelea kufanya makosa ambao hao wenyewe walifanya, hatutaenda mbali na hatutakuwa na nchi ambao sisi tunataka. So in a nutshell, we can transcend some of the things or some of the problems or some of the mistakes that were done by our forefathers, especially when it comes to leadership. Yeah, one of the things that we have to agree with that has been killing our country is tribalism. That as a young people, or as a generation that has gone to school, as a generation that know how to communicate, how can we correct those mistakes? It's very important for us as a country. If we want to move and get a country whereby everybody thrives. When you see all these politicians, and is a perfect example. Like I'm telling you, we've been in the media space. I'm one person who interacts with a lot of journalists. They are my friends because we've been with them. We were with them in colleges. And if you're very keen on this channel, you would see some of the videos that I do, especially the recorded videos on the street. I'm not on the street. These are being done by the journalists. Yeah. And they tell you what is on the ground, you know. Yeah. So, and they also advise that, okay, if you want to build our country, there's some of the mistakes that we cannot keep on making. And, you know, if we keep on making them, we are not going to thrive. Yeah. So how can we as a people that are having a conversation, how can we look it in the positive side, especially when the SHA is not working? Yeah. SHA is not working. It cannot work for my parents. It cannot work for your parents. But when it happens, when the MPs, they get sick, they are being flown out. They don't even use the SHA insurance in the first place. Yeah. So how can we have a conversation that builds? Yeah. How can we find a way of correcting those mistakes? Because if I don't correct it today, the generation that is coming is going to also to fall in the trap of that. And how can you be a hero of your country? You be a hero of your country by making sure that everybody who you live with. I'm a good testimony of 2007. When I was very young, I was living in Kisumu in a place called Nyalenda. I saw in the videos, those memories are still with me, especially in the video. And when you listen to the song of Eric Wainaina, Kijane Mimi, Daima, yeah? Every time when I listen to that song, those bad images that even I saw young people carrying those TVs, carrying those, you saw people, like you say, like we are doomed as a country. I still live with that. But we cannot afford, if indeed we are true disciple and a true ambassador of this country, Kenya, that we love, there's some of the things that we should not repeat. Yeah. Vitu ambazo zimekita mizizi, na ni sisi wenyewe hayo mamizizi tuzichimbe, tuzitoe, ndio tukue na nchi mzuri. Yeah? Yeah? There's something called peace. You will know the value of peace when somebody destabilizes that peace. I saw it. I know. We have friends and relatives who until today are still mourning. Yeah. And go watch those videos. I can remember very well. There are those videos that they are still in the internet where the Right Honorable Prime Minister and William Ruto are walking to the morgue, are seeing those on how those bodies were piled on them. How do you feel as a country? And what promoted that is the tribalism. Yeah. And how can we disagree? It's not a must that you have to agree with my thought, but we can learn to disagree in a respectful way. That I don't subscribe to how you, but I respect you. And how can we build? How can we find a solution whereby we reach 2050? I get my 20, you get your 80. Then we reach and build a country. As a young people, that is my take. As young people, those who believe that it's possible, if you believe that it is possible, yeah, I know there's some comments that usually might come and you might not feel like the way my take was feeling. Okay, you felt bad, yes, but how, from that, how can you make it from what somebody has said? How can you have a candid conversation with somebody who did that and say, like, my friend, my brother, this is not the right way to go. This is not the right way to build a country. Yeah. If you disagree, yeah, I agree on how you feel, on how might have portrayed a community or might have portrayed you as a person, but you say, hey, have that conversation, because if you have that, to take that, because you cannot, I don't know how to put it, and I'm just putting myself on somebody who saw it happen. Sometimes we talk about 207. Yeah, you talk about 207. You talk about 207, maybe you read it from, I was still very young, but I saw it because I was that person who was in Kisumu then, and I watched those TV, the images that I saw, and later back, you come of age and see like they're the same politicians. Those who are fighting, they're the same people who are enjoying. What about the people? So in such like conversation, let's have those conversations that builds. Let's have those conversations, those that unite us, despite our differences and our tribe and how we feel about each other. That let's build, because you never know. We've experienced some of the things. Let me tell you. Makobura, sometimes some of the things that we've gone through, I'm going even out of topic because sometimes I feel very bad. There was a time when we went for an interview. I think it was a visa interview. And I can remember very well, vividly well, when we were there, this guy was not from my tribe. And there was amount that you have to pay before you get interviewed. This guy did not have that money. Then I had to sacrifice, and I was meeting him for the very first time, and I had to give this money. And he told me, we are going back to town and I'm going to pay you this money. When I met the parents of that guy, and sometimes there are favors that you wait. The parents even gave me more than what I gave because they say that you do not know my son, and you decided to sacrifice. And that's what counts. That's what counts. So let us have a very good conversation. If we disagree with President William Ruto on what he's doing, let's call out those disagreements that we are having with him, that we feel that he's not fit to lead us. Give those points in a very good way. If we disagree with what Raila is doing, and you have those points, let's give them in a very good way so that we know. And from those points that we give, we sit down and check them and see, like, now out of these two or out of Orium, which one is very best for us? Because when you thrive, as Benson, if I thrive, I know Gitonga will thrive. If I thrive, I know Judith will thrive. If I thrive, I know Gibson Connor will thrive. We don't want a society whereby only one person thrives. Then that will increase the level of dependency. There's so many people that are going to depend on you. So that is what I'm asking of you. Let us have this channel that might be very unique, and let us show the side of us that is unique, that is quite much very different. Let us do something that even after 10 years, because these things are going to be here with us, when somebody will come to this channel and say indeed and testify that these people did a good job. And that's how history are made. History is not only being made on the streets, or history are not being made on the offices, or history is not being made by electing those leaders. History are made by the words that you say. History are made by the good deeds that you do to other people, that left the prints on their hearts, that remind you of them, that this person, when I was down, he lifted me up. When our country was burning, I came and say a word. Then the history is written, not in the books, but in the hearts of the few people, that what you have done has really changed their life. That is what we are made of. Yeah. Let us show how special we are. Yeah. Yeah. I remember, when they go low, let's go high. Yeah. Let us not go low than them. Let us show them that we are capable despite those. Let us show them that we've transcended from tribal Rubicon. We are talking of issues that can help. That is what we are calling.
Yeah. Can I just add something, maybe? The issue of tribalism, it started some years back, but I think it's something that, as a people, we are trying to solve it. The Gen Zs are also trying to solve it. But I think there are some people who are still just fixed. They have that fixed mind in tribe and tribalism. I've ever given my story here. Me, I was raised in the village, somewhere deep in the village. And the stories, when I was growing up, I was being told, of course, we've understood and we've been told how the people from the lake and the people from the mountain have always had, different opinions when it comes to making politics or even coming together. And I think more of what has expanded the tribalism thing is our parents, so people who are old, because back in the village when we were growing, of course we'd be told, we would ask, why is it that we've not seen the people from the lake, working with the people from Murema, and then whatever we'd be told was that I'm giving a story. I'm just giving a story so that whoever is listening can also see it is a story there's a reason why I'm giving it. And I was told that, the people from the Murima side, they don't like, for example, the people from the lake. And it started by, you know,
Mhm.
uh, it started, uh, it started that time when Kenyatta and the father of Raila, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, were having issues, which more of it was politics. And what was going on was, we were being told how the father of Raila was nice to an extent that he offered presidency. And when the fightings were going on, he came out and told those who wanted to hand him the presidency that I don't have more experience or qualification, and we have a master here, a master who has the capability of taking this, and that master is one Kenyatta. And out of that, Kenyatta came and he was given the presidency. Along the way, there were political differences between Kenyatta and Jaramogi. Part of it were the lands that had been occupied by the Wazungus.
Mhm.
The side of Kenyatta, they were saying that these shambas should be divided to those who fought the Mau Maus and those who fought the whites.
Mhm.
And then the side of Jaramogi, they were saying that no, this side, this lands should be given back to the people that the first owners. And these are part of the things that brought differences between Kenyatta and Jaramogi. And that is one of the things that that is part of what has always, brought the problems between the Murema and the lake. The people who are close to Kenyatta, they were advising Kenyatta that uh, is it really okay for us to give back the lands to the original owners, or do we give these lands to those who fought? And that is part of the thing that brought the problem. And those who are close to Kenyatta started sending this message that Mr. Jaramogi is not really having good intentions, and those are how they started having problems.
Mhm.
And then there's a group of people who are close to Kenyatta who then started the issue of making treaties on how they should not, work with someone who is not, listening and such
Mm.
kind of. Those are the stories that we were told. But again, as we were growing up, of course, we were told about this, and that in back in our mind, of course, we knew that the people from the Mount Kenya region, either they're not bad, I mean, good people. The reason being they don't like others, according to what we were told. And again, there was the issue of Mungiki sometimes back. And so when you were growing up, you would be told how Mungiki were killing people, like, and then this fear, they sold to us. And then we grew up knowing that this hawa watu wa Murima ni kama, like back in our mind, ni kama watu wote wa huko walikuwa, wanaitwa hivyo na wanaua watu, So when I finished my high school and then I came to Nairobi, I thank God that I studied along Thika Road. In Thika Road, I started now interacting. I then found Watu wa Murima, the real Watu wa Murima. And then at first I had some fears, but with consistency, conversing, trying to understand, I realized that these people, they are not as bad as, I was told when I was still young. And I think what I can say is the issue of tribalism was there. And we can do away with it. And that is what I've been saying here. And we said it, personally, I said it yesterday. If, when it comes to, elections, it is the political class that has always, told us how tribal we are. And they use this narrative to, to get to these positions. After getting to these positions, they end up looting. And when they loot, they don't share this loot with the people from their tribe. And as a people, we need to wake up. And, when the leaders are trying to, sell us the narrative of tribe, we should not buy it. We should stand independent. That is why, personally, as much as I'm coming from the Luo region, there are some of our friends here who are saying that I don't, for example, like Raila. It is not that I don't. Personally, I respect Raila Amolo Odinga and his stance. It is true that he's fought for this country, he's brought so many things. But I have my reasons why. For example, I'm not very well, supporting the fact that you want to support the president. And if you ask me, I will tell you the reasons. It doesn't mean that, I don't like him. It doesn't mean that I don't like the other side that are, going against his narrative. So let us not, make decisions based on our emotions, based on, the places where we are coming from. Because if we focus on emotions and tribe, we are going to lose the whole thing. If we focus on tribe and all these things, we are going to suffer as a people. And that is part of the reasons why we are suffering as a people.
Makobura, unajua saa zingine nashindwa. Sometimes you sit down and ask yourself where, because we agree. Something that we have to agree ourselves is that, like, we do not have we have the tribal, and there are so many things that were done in the tribal if you look at the history. But time comes, as a people, as young people, I've interacted with majority of them, not even from the Mulima, all parts of the country. Sometimes I've always talked to you so many times. There are times that we want blessings. You talk of blessings, maybe you think like there's a big blessing that is going to come your way. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes there are so many favors that we get during our daily lives. Those are the blessings, But if you're a human being who has a feeling, if you are a human being who has a feeling and know what is happening and you know what is right, you need to do. We are not saying that we are perfect. I told you earlier in Kiswahili, kila mtu aliumbwa na mapungufu yake. Sisi binadamu tuna mapungufu yetu, tumeumbwa, lakini kuna zile makosa ambao yalifanywa na mababu zetu, ambapo inafaa turekebishe vitu ambazo saa zingine huwa inaniuma kabisa, kwa sababu saa hizi tunasema kwamba tunaongelea juu ya ukabila, na unapata viongozi wanasema labda kwingine ni kabila. Mimi naongelea pali ambapo mimi nimekulia na pali ambao mimi pia nimelelewa, na najua marafiki wangu ambao labda katika hii wakati wa uchaguzi, they are breadwinners who have been lost. There are people who have lost their loved ones. There are mothers today. There are mothers who lost their sons who were like breadwinner to them. They do not have anybody. But due to election, they've lost them. They've never gotten compensation. So which one is bigger? Can you put yourself in that woman's shoes? People will criticize. And I love when somebody criticizes me, because that it feels that my presence is there. If somebody is not talking about you, whether bad or good, then you are not existing. You are not. And I told you, sometimes you don't know the value of that peace. You don't know. Have a conversation. I was in Kisumu. Let me just tell you, because I was in Kisumu, I wanted to do a documentary. We were with some journalists. So we wanted to know what actually happens. And it took us time, because for you to do a documentary, especially with people who have undergone, especially series of who have lost their kids, you have to involve the police, you have to involve the council, you have to, even those areas. I tell you, when we rolled, we did the cameras, we were just about to start to interview. They all broke down. And when they broke down, and I told my team, the production, I say, you know what? We cannot go on with this, because they've not healed. We had a line of 10 good people. We talked, we prep, every preps was good. So when we rolled the camera, we ended up not doing the camera. Even you as a person who is doing this, sometimes you feel it is not worth it because you're not getting information. I'll be taking advantage of these people. And how can we stop those? How can we? Yeah, my friend is talking about Marco Ure change his mind. You know, that's politics. You know, there's that politics side of it. You know, yeah. Everybody would want to win Marco Ure. Yeah. So when he goes, the people who are going to criticize him, you know, because people want to win him, and by him taking that stand, everybody has a stand to take. I usually don't care where your stand is. Which party are you affiliated to? Yeah, I don't care about that. But like sometimes we need to have a conversation about this country. How can we thrive? Yeah, how can we thrive? You know, it's not Makobura. Okay, the Makobura, this is happening because I think I'm losing my mind for one thing. And I'm very sorry for everyone. I think I will have to close the show because uh, when I see when we as young people are still going through tribalism, it doesn't
allow me to just say something before we close. I'm reading the comments of a good friend, my take. No one is actually criticizing what you stand for or what you're saying. And I think let us focus on, things which can help us as a people. The issue of tribalism, it is there. No one is, we are accepting the fact that it is there, yes. But what we should do and what we are trying to do as a people, we are trying to change the narrative. We are trying to change the thinking. And if maybe you saw one or two, I don't think you should you should more of your times, you should like focus on it, because the more you focus and, uh, the more you focus, and then there are platforms where you can talk about these things. For example, if for example, I can see the comment where you've said that, by the way, people think that I'm being unreasonable, but let me tell you this, until very recently, I supported the Gen Z cause. I changed my mind. Immediately, those people became personal with Marco Ure. My good friend, my take, if there are people who had personal, stance or criticized Marco Ure, those are individuals. I don't think it is right to generalize and say that they are Luos. Personally, I criticized Marco Ure because I knew that, the stand that he took at first was purely genuine. And along the way, before the Gen Zs decided that they were going to start associating with the politicians, we saw him making that move, of which that was against what we had believed in. And it is not just, the people from a certain tribe that criticize them, but maybe the people from different tribes. We have to accept that fact. So I don't think it is good for us to try pick one thing and then, we hang on it. It is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And being personal is also not okay. Being personal is not okay. I don't think it is okay my take, if you're giving your comments, kindly don't take it too personal, because the reason why, for example, we have this channel, we've got people coming from different tribes who do come here and they give their opinion. It is right. We have a constitution that gives us a right to, have different political stands. And if someone has a certain political stand, it is their right to have that stand. We should not force them to, think differently. If I've always seen your comments, my take. I'm not saying you're not good or what, but what I've noticed the other day, when personally I said that I'm having a different stand when it comes to the comments of Raila, I did not say that because I don't like Raila or anything. Personally, I can confirm to you, we are running a political party. It is a political party that has people from different tribes. And personally, I do not align to ODM as much as I come from the Luo area. But again, if I'm having a different comment from the comments of, stance from the stance of Raila, it doesn't mean that I don't like him. I don't think we should view it that way. Everyone has a liberty to just, have their take, have their stand. That is what I can say. And the issue of tribalism, we should shun away from it. We should not speak about it. We should speak about it, yes, but we should not, like, we should not make it look like it is the way to go. It is not the way to go. And yesterday I said here, not just yesterday, the problems we have are the senior political class: Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, all these political figures that we've always followed. They're the people whom, whenever we are going for election, they tend to regroup and then they start telling us how, from the tribes where they're coming from. We should not buy this narrative. And that is why we have always said here that, you know what, as much as these famous political figures are out here, we have other people. We have a good number of them. We have, people who have not been popular on the political space, and they can give us a chance. They have offered themselves. They want to go for presidency. Some of them are coming from the smallest tribe. Maybe if we give them a chance, we will not be hearing about the biggest tribes. Let us not think or base our narrative or our thinking or our reasoning on tribe. Let us look at the problems that the country is going through. Let us look at, the unemployment issues that we have in the country, the suffering economy, the abductions. These things are affecting normal Kenyan citizens. They are not affecting the senior political class. If we look at the issues which are affecting us as a people, and then we can then start reasoning based on the problems that we are having at hand. If we look at the problems that we have, these problems can help us, we can look at these problems, and then we look at the leader that is talking about solving the problems that we have. That way, we will be headed in the right direction. That is what I can say. And again, my good friend, my take, I think some of these comments, some people, if you come to the comment sections, you will always see people. Some people can just speak so that they, why know your emotions. Sometimes just don't just buy that, because the moment you buy that, you get out of your, we lose the focus, and that is when we then lose everything. That is my take. I want to take this opportunity tonight to say a big thank you to everyone who joined. I acknowledge the presence of everyone. And my last comments is, let us shun away from, let us stop tribalism. Let us love one another. Let us look at each other as Kenyans, as Africans. Whether you're coming from the lake or from Urema, from north, or whichever place that you're coming from, let us look at each other as Kenyans. And if we do so, we are going to ensure that we bring back the lost glory that we've always had in the Republic of Kenya. That is what I want to leave you with tonight. Until tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a guest. Tomorrow we have a guest. We'll be having Professor. Professor also has Professor Gola. He has political interest. He'll be giving us his take and possibly maybe his agenda that he has for the people of Kenya. So I would advise you to kindly come and join us tomorrow as we'll be having that interview. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all well. If you're around, to have a blessed night, have a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.